Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Globe Seekers podcast, where I help you expand your mind and become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. Hello, how are we doing today? Today, we're just going to kiki. And if you guys don't know what that means, basically, we're just going to chat. It's gonna be an off-topic episode. Listen, I've been kind of slacking with the off-topic episodes. Technically, today's supposed to be like a main theme, but whatever. It is what it is, okay? We're just rolling with the punches. I feel like I need to have this off-topic episode to talk about a bunch of random things because that's where my soul is wanting to go. Today is it's such a weird day, really. It's so rainy and gloomy, but I'm not mad about it. You know those days in like elementary school where there's like thunderstorms and you can't go outside during recess because like it's raining but it's like fun, it's like exciting in a way, at least it was for me. That's what it feels like today. Like after this episode, I just want to crawl into bed, eat some popcorn, and watch some Real Housewives. Like that is the energy today. Although this morning it was so stunning. The sun was out, and the sun has been out, guys. I am awakening. I am freaking awakening, which I've been talking about like every episode for the past few weeks, but it's been so nice and so warm to the point where I've actually been sitting outside right near the water reading, like actually being able to sit outside because it's that warm, which is not even that warm. Like it's been getting up to like 12 degrees, which in Toronto it is pretty warm. So I am just living. All I need is a book, sitting by the water, quiet mornings. Oh my gosh. The lightning, if you saw on YouTube, I don't know if that just flashed. That's crazy. And I'm staring at the CN Tower. So when there's lightning in the city, it goes right on the tip of the CN Tower. It's wild. Anyways, what was I saying? Reading by the water. I have actually, you know what? I'm not going to talk about the book that I'm reading yet because I want to talk about the ins and outs for February moving into March. I figured that that's what the episode will be, like ins and outs, and I want to talk about like softening into the resistance that sometimes we have in life. But bringing it back to awakening and spring awakening, I should say. I don't know if anyone else gets a little bit under the weather, like you get a cold or you get the flu or something when the seasons change, but I feel like my body has been fighting off. I was going to say fighting off a disease. That's not what's happening. My body has been definitely fighting something off. So I've been feeling a little bit like low energy and not feeling the best, but I also feel okay because I think just the knowing that spring is around the corner and I've been getting so much more sun and just excitement for life, this is just new energy that I'm kind of like low key okay with it. But I feel like, and not me having to make everything very spiritual and like super deep. Maybe genuinely my body's just fighting something off and has nothing to do with this. But I feel like this tends to happen to me where my body goes through this purging in a way of maybe getting sick, moving into a new season. It's almost like I feel like I'm just like shedding energetically, spiritually, physically, all of the weight, all of the everything that I've been carrying for so long, but I'm not really that sick. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that to see if anyone else is going through that. I know that it is like a natural, normal thing, not natural or normal, a common thing to get sick kind of when the seasons change or like when the weather changes, which it has been. There was like really, really cold days and then super warm days, and I've been like going outside a lot, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm feeling good though. So let's talk about some ins. I figured we'll just make this a little bit fun. And I would love to know what your guys' ins and outs are for spring, essentially. You know, shedding the energy, the weight, the mindset, the habits from December, January, February. What are we bringing into March? What are we not bringing in? And the first thing that we're bringing in is very superficial, I should say, which is reality TV shows right now, which I think this is important because I think that as the season changes, I think what we consume should change, and I think we should start new seasons of shows. And so right now I just started Summer House on Hey You. I watch all of my reality TV shows on Hey You. And I mean, we're only like 2 episodes, I think, into it, but I'm obsessed here for it. I love that show. I think naturally Summer House, they record in the summertime, so it just makes me excited for summer and just them doing like day drinking and fun things. Obviously, there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of this, that. But that's the show that I've been starting along with Vanderpump Rules. Not too much has been happening other than we're watching Sandoval come back from the Scandoval, which was so dark and crazy to me. I think, I don't want to talk about too much just in case people haven't watched, but I just think that he could have redeemed himself so much sooner, but his need to be right and his like, I don't know, his like protection of himself is not allowing things to just be, I don't know, like things are just being dragged on from this scandal, which is crazy because they're like Sheena and Lala, you can tell, and a few people around him are kind of like opening up their arms a little bit for him to just bow down and say he effed up and say that he was wrong, but he just can't fully say that, which is just so annoying to me because I'm like, the fact that people are even like redeeming you or allowing you to redeem yourself is crazy considering the level of deceit that you did and you played out, and you're not about to jump on this chance. So we'll see how the evolution of Sandoval goes. I think what's going to happen is people will start kind of forgiving him, but that's crazy. And then another another show that I am watching, which is, I don't know if it's new in terms of if there's a new season running right now, but I'm watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Everyone has been saying to watch that. I have been slacking on that. So I'm like, I started around season 10. I think I'm on season 11 right now or 12. So I'm kind of behind. Whoops. So I still don't know like what's going on like right now, like real time. But those are the 3 shows that I am looking forward to every single week. And I just think it's nice to just break up your week. I think being a self-improvement girly, always working on something, personally for me, running my own everything, managing my own self, sometimes life gets very serious and very like in a good way in terms of reading books and self-development and hitting goals. But I do, which I never really allowed myself to have because I just had to always be very responsible and like hit goals and work all the time. I was always working. I didn't really have time to like during the week, like Wednesday night, have a girls' night or by myself, just watching reality TV shows and relaxing and just like slowing down and being present in life, like not being in this energy of rushing, which we talked about on last week's episode. But I feel like now I'm slowly starting to really just enjoy life, and that being like having a few nights out of the week or like one night out of the week where I am looking forward to sitting down and watching reality TV shows. Like it's fun to me. So that's what I've been doing. Let me know what episodes or shows you guys have been really loving and watching. So that's definitely in, and it will continue to be in throughout this summer and spring, really. The next thing that is in is morning electrolytes. I am on my electrolyte game. I go through periods of time where I fall more into like supplementation than others. For me, it's more I have to be motivated. I have to be like entering a new identity, I think, sometimes to incorporate like a greens powder or electrolytes or something like that. I think mainly because I am somebody who at the end of the day understands that, you know, your main meals throughout your day, weeks, months will really give you all you need. I'm not somebody who's like looking to these things as like a means to an end that's going to fix my issues per se, the way that maybe I used to be. And I would spend so much money on supplements and this, that, but it is nice to have like a supplement here and there. And obviously there are benefits of taking supplements and things of that nature. I don't really necessarily look at electrolytes as a full-on supplement, although technically it is because it has minerals in it. Anyways, in the morning, I am not trying, but I'm just leaning into having something that is extra supporting my body, and that is electrolytes. So right now I'm drinking liquid IV. I honestly am just drinking them because I stole them from my best friend Joey. She had like a huge like a cookie jar filled with these liquid IV packets, so I took a bunch of them. I do have Peak Life as well, which I should have taken those out, but with electrolytes, the reason why I like them is because obviously it adds back minerals, and I don't know if there's any sort of vitamins in those ones, but having minerals in the sense of adding in sodium to your water, like especially first thing, having sodium in the morning, which sounds bad in a way because we've been taught like don't have sodium, low sodium, this, that, but salt essentially is actually really, really good to hydrate your body. You can drink water all day, but if you're not having the essential nutrients for your body to be able to actually absorb this water into your cells, it's kind of like, obviously drinking water is great no matter what. You shouldn't not drink water. You have to stay hydrated, but having some minerals, sodium in your diet can be very, very helpful for you to really get the benefits of what water essentially can do for you. So that's what I've been trying to do in the morning. I do find liquid IV, I didn't like it in the summertime as much as I do now. Maybe it's just because the way that I'm looking at it is it's really, really beneficial for, I just like when I drink it in the morning, I sit here and I think about how my cells are like rehydrating when I'm drinking it. So maybe it's just more of a placebo thing. But I think the best thing you can do when you're drinking liquid IV packets, the lemon lime flavor to be exact, is to drink it ice cold. I don't think it tastes really good when it's like lukewarm. Okay. So what I do is I take my Athletic Greens bottle. I add a shit ton, sorry for swearing, of ice cubes in it. And then I fill it up with my fluoride-free mineral added water in it, shake it up, and I drink it. And I usually will go on a little morning walk. Recently, that's what I've been doing. And I just feel so hydrated, so freaking good. Next thing that is in is reading. I am super, super into reading right now, mainly because of the Glow Up Challenge, the 1 hour of self-development every single day. I have been really diving into that, and I'm so happy about that because I don't know. I am a learner. I'm a natural seeker of what the heck is going on in this world. Genuinely. I sometimes think about myself or my brain as not, I don't think about myself as like an engineer, but I think in terms of sometimes what engineers do, like engineers are very much interested in connecting the dots and seeing how things work and operate. And I think that that's just like how I look at things versus sometimes I think like doctors, sometimes their mindsets will be more about figuring out how to deal with the symptom at hand, but I'm more interested in how it operates from the very beginning, like the root, which is technically like if you look at like the umbrella of engineering. Anyways, why am I talking about that? Because I'm a lifelong learner. And do you need to be an engineer to be a lifelong learner? No. Anyways, what book am I reading right now? Psycho-Cybernetics. I have been wanting to read this book. Dylan James talks about this book all of the time. A lot of people talk about this book. I'm super, super into self-concept, self-image, your mindset, and how it really dictates your actions. It really dictates, like just the way that you view yourself. If you view yourself as somebody who is a successful person, who is somebody who can figure things out, you tend to go in the direction of trying and learning regardless if you fail, things like that. So I have been really, really loving this book. I think I want to talk about this book more in terms of identity work and self-image and self-concept. I have a few episodes about this, but I am genuinely reading every single chapter and taking so many pages of notes because I'm obsessed with this book. I should have read this book earlier. I really should have known. Anyways, some of you guys have been saying that you've read that book. If you're looking for a self-development book that's really going to change your life, I would definitely say Psycho-Cybernetics if you're interested in self-concept. Also, you could check out my book, The Glow Up Secrets Podcast. The Glow Up Secrets Podcast. Am I okay? The Ultimate Glow Up Guide. Oh my gosh. but I think like my book is more so for the internal, deep healing, emotional self work. And self-image is more of like the masculine mindset work. And I think you need to definitely do both. You need to focus on both. So anyways, I've been really loving that. I've been reading it on my Kindle, although I am now realizing I should have just ordered a physical copy of this damn book because I just want to highlight everything. But I think that it forces me to write out a lot more notes than I would if I just had the physical book. So maybe that's a good thing. The next thing that I've been doing is Pinterest scrolling versus social media scrolling. I am so into Pinterest right now. I think in terms of new seasons, I tend to fall back into Pinterest, creating new mood boards, vision boards, whatever. But I would say the past few months, I haven't really been on Pinterest that much. I feel like I haven't really been inspired that much. But because I'm super into scrolling on Pinterest. So that's super in versus social media. I'm not really into it right now. Another thing that's really in for me is teeth health, which is always technically in, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm actually getting a procedure done on my gums in a few weeks. So I guess quick side note, I think I've talked about this before, but I've had a long journey with my teeth health. I grew up with having a lot of cavities. I was a kid who ate a lot of candy, and obviously my mom did the best to tell me to brush my teeth, and I technically did. It wasn't that I never did, but I absolutely ate so much candy, and I talk about it in my book in terms of there was actually like emotional reason why I was eating candy all the time. Anyways, that obviously didn't help with my teeth health. My parents didn't have a lot of money growing up. We didn't have insurance, so we didn't go probably as frequently as needed. And when I did, if I had any cavities in terms of like any of my molars, they pulled out a few of my molars, like my back teeth, because you don't technically need, you have 2 molars in the back and you don't technically need both. So that's why they were like more willing to pull them, which obviously I wish that didn't happen. They didn't have money to get a root canal. And then I also had a really bad phase of my life of having acid reflux, and that ruined a lot of the enamel on my teeth. And I just had a really long journey with not having the best teeth health. I spent a lot of money working on my teeth, getting all my cavities filled, getting root canals when I needed it, which wasn't a lot. I think I have like 1 or 2. I ended up getting my wisdom teeth out. I've spent a lot of time. And then of course, after the whole phase of like being in my early 20s and really taking care of my teeth, like flossing all the time, making sure my teeth are always brushed, like never missing a day, like all that kind of stuff, just taking more responsibility of my teeth. So I've come a very far way. Now on the cosmetic side of my teeth, I have pretty naturally straight teeth. I actually do. And in my teeth, in terms of the straightness of them, have never necessarily been an issue, although I've always had a gap in my teeth, and it's been a little bit bigger than maybe you can even see on YouTube right now, or even when I like vlog closer. Because I have composite filling, which a dentist basically almost closed my gap, but if he didn't want to close it completely, because then my teeth would look too wide, because I actually have a pretty gummy smile if I were to like smile really big, which is not the end of the world. A lot of people like that. I see a lot of people who have gummy smiles, and I don't think it's an issue. For me personally, I've always not necessarily loved the look of it on my teeth, but never to the point where I was like what am I going to do about it? Now, I've always heard of getting laser gum removal, like removing the excess amount of gum on your teeth and just raising like the look of or lengthening the look of your teeth essentially. So that was something that was always in my head, but I really wanted to go on a journey of first loving my smile and loving my teeth and taking care of my teeth before anything else. So when I was on a journey of glowing up and learning to love myself more, that was definitely a part of me that I really learned to love, because I was like, well, what if I never have enough money to ever get anything done with my teeth? And I don't want to always look at myself like I can't love my smile until I get it done type thing. But I understand, like I've always been somebody who said like, you know, I'm not immune to insecurities. I also understand when people get things done, like when people get nose jobs done or people get whatever they get done. Like I understand, like living in a I don't know 21st century, it's hard to always feel like super confident with everything natural, everything da da da. So I totally get that. But for me personally, I just wanted to learn how to still love my smile, and then if I wanted to in the future get any sort of cosmetic work done, I would allow myself, or I would save up, or I would kind of take my time doing that. So the first thing that I really wanted to do was, if anything, to show more of my teeth. So raise my gum line a little bit. And I'm only saying this also because it is actually like, it's certain that my gum line is lower than average again. So it's not like I'm just like pulling this out of thin air. Although again, I could absolutely just keep my gum line where it is and it's fine. Like no one's really saying that it's bad or wrong or whatever. But growing up as a child, my teeth really aren't showing as much as they could. There is a lot more that you could show. So like when I go to a dentist, they're not surprised that I'm coming and saying, oh, like I have a gummy smile. Can we maybe work on this? Because they're like, now we have a case here essentially. Now on top of the gums, my gap was always the main focus that I wanted to work on. I guess I wanted it closed. I wanted my gap closed, but because I couldn't close it with composite filling because my teeth would look way too wide, I thought, okay, I'll just wait until I maybe do the gum lift and then see. But what I came to realize is it's actually probably more beneficial if I do Invisalign. Now, I'm not doing Invisalign because I think my teeth are really uneven, because they're not. I mean, I have a little bit of crowding in the bottom of my teeth. That's never been an issue. I don't care to have flawless teeth. I don't care to have perfect veneers. I'm not doing that. But it makes more sense to just align my teeth the proper way versus just filling it with composite filling. Say all that to say, I have been going to my dentist for the past few months, just seeing what the options are and what makes the best sense for my teeth. I'm not rushing into anything, and I've been thinking about this for so long, and I've given myself enough time. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the gums first, and then I'm going to be starting Invisalign, which I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm excited for. I think like I'm not in a position where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get it because I need it so bad and I need my teeth to be fixed, which is something that I really wanted to be grounded in. I wanted to be, if I was going to get Invisalign or do anything with my gums, I wanted to be at a level where I didn't like need it. Like I don't need it to go live my life. I don't need it to go smile. Right? So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I guess teeth health will be a very big like focus. Not health, but teeth focus in the next year, probably in like a half. But I'm going to be getting that done. And if you guys want more information about that or anything to do with like teeth health, because I know the last time I've talked about it, a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about it more. And, you know, I think that there was a lot of like a little bit of shame, and I had a little bit of embarrassment when I was going through this process of working on my teeth, because I felt like I had bad teeth and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe my teeth got like this. And I just want to maybe just say, for anyone who's currently going through any sort of teeth insecurities or teeth journeys, or you're realizing, wow, I have more work to do on my teeth, or I didn't, maybe I didn't take care of my teeth as much as I thought, like, you are so not alone. I think that's something that a lot of people talk about, is like teeth insecurities, and it can really affect your confidence in the way that you smile. And I think that when I was younger, for sure, I was so much more insecure with my teeth and my smile. Like I really like didn't smile a lot, and a lot of that had to do. Well, I mean, there was many reasons why I wasn't smiling, but there was this aspect of like cosmetically, I didn't necessarily think that my teeth were the thing that was, I don't know, the same as what I was seeing around, and I was really insecure about that. But I had to work on that, and I'm really happy that I went through the process of accepting what I had before even doing any sort of changes. And I always bring it back to things that I've talked about in my book about, it doesn't mean that you're ever going to be not wanting to change something about you, but I think you should really go through the process of learning how to embrace parts of you before trying to do any sort of changes, because I think when you go through a process of accepting and learning that you are inherently a good person and you're worthy and people will love you no matter how you look first, I think that it changes the way that you want to go onto changing yourself. And I'll say an example of, when I grew up and I didn't necessarily have the same body type as maybe some of the girls that were being pushed on social media, like BBL energy, like I don't have like super big glutes. I felt really insecure about that. And my mindset went to, oh, let me just look into getting a BBL. And no shade to anyone who's gotten it, who wants to. I get it. But I really was like, I need it. And I'm like, was really considering it. I was even considering getting fake boobs. And now I would never, would never. I actually really, really like the way that my body looks. But I for me would go to these extremes. And even with my teeth, I was like, I'm just going to get veneers. Like my teeth are crap, like completely crap, whatever. Until I went on this journey of like, okay, slow down. Like, let's learn and see if we can accept our bodies and love our bodies and this, that, and the third. And then I came out to the point where, okay, well, maybe I want to grow my glutes at the gym, but I'm not going to the extent of doing a BBL. Or I learned how to accept my teeth so much that I didn't get into debt and do this fly to Turkey and get veneers done, which I'm happy I didn't, because I think that I didn't have the money at the time, and I probably still would have been insecure, and I don't think I would have liked the veneers, if I'm being honest. And realistically, I don't need them. I actually still have very beautiful teeth, and I can work with them a lot, and I can do things that are a little bit less invasive in a way. Now, you might go on that journey and still realize you want to get the BBL, you still want to get the veneers, and everyone's journey is different. But for me, it was definitely coming out of this place of desperation of like, I need it now. And the I need it now energy really was reflected in my life through these extreme measures, like getting the veneers and doing like a BBL and such. So anyways, I sum all that up to say, I feel you if you are ever going through any sort of insecurities. And yeah, I think everyone's journey is different, but you are absolutely allowed to have preferences and change and grow, but give yourself time is what I'll say. Being 28 now and having the means to be able to do it, I'm so happy that I did wait, but give yourself some time. And the last thing that I think is in for this season is softening into things that feel really resistant, or you are feeling really resistant to, or I'm feeling really resistant to. And I kind of said this at the beginning, but I think there are things that we feel resistant to because it's genuinely not in alignment. And there's things that sometimes we just have to do that we might not feel super comfortable doing, but realistically, these things are a part of our journey, and to not resist it so much and understand that it's just simply a stop. It's simply just a part of the journey. Like life is not going to be like this forever, or it's going to feel like this forever. And we were talking about this in last night's women's circle I was in. We were just like going over, or not going over, but like expressing some of the resistance that we might feel to certain things in our lives. And I guess I'll give this example of, sometimes I feel resistance to going to things such as women's circles because it requires a level of, first, well, the one with the women's circles that I go to, it's led by my somatic therapist. So it's very much so somatic therapy, bringing your awareness to your feeling state, your body, the sensations that you're feeling in your body as you're listening to someone else and as you are sharing. So it's hard work to be aware of what's happening in your body, especially when you are somebody who's very much so in their mind and very much so like go, go, go. But also just the idea and the energy of like going to this space where we're speaking about our feelings and we're letting people in. Like sometimes I have resistance to that. Now, it's been hard for me to navigate whether it's it's genuine resistance because I don't want to go there sometimes in my emotions, which is very normal. Sometimes you're not in the mood to just like go deep in your emotions, or if it's simply this no longer having interest in doing this type of thing in my life, and I want to go in this direction over here, and I want to put my attention and focus into like learning about something else, let's say. And so, but what I've been like realizing within myself, and what we were talking about, and just crazy that was even brought up, was like, what would it feel like to just soften into this experience and not have so much resistance to it? Like, why do I need to even have an answer? Why do I need to, I guess, I don't know, have an answer. I'm like thinking and feeling out as I'm like speaking about this, but I just think like the way I look at it is this, I guess, the mindset that I have in terms of this example. Maybe it is true that I'm not really interested in spending a lot more of my time and effort doing, let's say, like going into these like women's circles and like doing this like deep healing work and this, that. But I don't have to say no to it. I can just show up in a way of, this doesn't need to be my forever thing. And I think that when I have this energy of this is not going to be a forever thing, I tend to kind of like go on this journey or this ride, and I learn a lot from this thing that maybe I'm even having resistance to. And I end up learning a lot that I'm able to bring with me on the journey or the path forward to where I'm supposed to be in my life. But sometimes, like, when I feel resistance to something or like something I don't really enjoy, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to be here, as if this here is going to be my end all. Maybe it's not going to be your end all. And quite frankly, it's probably not. But I feel like, I think about this in terms of like a job you don't like or a class you're not enjoying right now. Maybe let's soften into this class or this job in this way of reminding yourself, like, it's not going to be a forever thing. This is not your end. And quite frankly, this job or this class or this thing this lesson that you're learning right now feels uncomfortable, but we don't have to resist it so much. We don't have to resist it so much, because realistically, this thing is probably just a part of our journey. Now, of course, there's going to be times where you're resisting because it's really not for you, but I'm not talking about those instances. I'm talking about the instances where you can't genuinely figure out whether it's something you really want or you're just resisting it because it's hard for you, because you've never done it, or you fear it, or you're not comfortable with it because it's something new to you. And I think right now I'm just in this energy of just allowing and not needing to know the answer. And I find that I end up being able to pull wisdom from things a lot better when I am not trying to figure out the answer or have this resistance to it. So I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm just very much so looking at things that I have somewhat resistance to, that I don't know if it's because I don't want to do it or if it's because I'm uncomfortable doing it with, as this part of the journey. It's just part of the journey. What can I learn from it? What can I learn from it? How can I soften into this thing that the universe is clearly presenting to me for some reason? What can I learn from it? And honestly, I'll learn something from it and I'll bring it with me on this journey of life. And I've been having a lot of insights recently of where I see myself in like the far future in terms of what I'm doing for like career wise. And I think it's actually way beyond what I even think that it is. And we sometimes have to hold on to something, obviously, like an idea of what we want to do for our careers or where we want to go in our lives. Obviously, like we need some sort of goal or direction. But I'm starting to realize that what I think I'm meant to do, these things are only just a piece of the puzzle into something that's even bigger, which is, I think, sometimes the reason why I feel like I actually have some sort of resistance to these things that I'm currently learning in my life, because I'm telling myself like these things have to be the end all, like this is going to be it, but it doesn't have to be it. So again, I don't know if this is resonating with anyone, but that's where I'm at in my life. I'm just in this state of like softening and allowing and just learning, like taking in whatever it is that the universe is bringing me right now as information, as a bigger piece to the puzzle. And that just really makes me feel a little bit better about life, because sometimes I have resistance because I'm telling myself like, oh, this is the end thing. And then I have resistance because I'm like, well, this doesn't feel comfortable. I don't really enjoy it here. Like, I don't really want to stop here. But it's like, who said that you're stopping here? This is just a pit stop in a way. You know, it doesn't have to be your end all. So anyways, that's what's in for this new season of my life. Please let me know what is in for you. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do outs. And I only have a few outs. I don't know. So I guess I'll read them out. One would be reading and attaining knowledge, but not taking action on it. And this can be hard sometimes, because for me, I'm very much so somebody who like when I learn something, I just want to dive into it, and I want to learn every part or every aspect of it, and I want to just like connect all the dots and like whatever. But something that I'm also learning in psycho-cybernetics, which I'm learning in life in general, I learned this in somatic therapy, I learned this in life, and everything that I've gone through, you really do, like, you can learn so much knowledge, but you have to go apply it. It's not even about applying, it's just even experiencing. So I think even a small example is when I'm reading a book, taking notes, really like diving into what it is that I am learning instead of just reading it and going on to the next thing and going on to the next thing. So I'm trying to take things slow in my life, and I'm really trying to apply the things that I'm learning and practicing, getting out of my own way and practicing. I'm also taking I'm basically in school, like online school. So I'm learning a lot about somatic experiencing essentially. And I'm learning this thing called a drop-in process, where you are bringing a client to their awareness more back to their body, to feeling safe, to feeling not so anxiety ridden in a way, so that we can have a more expansive session. And I am not learning anything more until I really put this into practice and do this drop-in practice, and like do it by myself, do it with friends, do it with clients, this, that, and the third. So I'm really just being aware of when I am learning and I'm not implementing. And I think this is very prominent in my life right now, because I am really diving into self-development, doing lots of reading, schooling, things of that nature. So I'm really trying to practice what I preach in a way. Okay, the next thing that is out is kind of surface level, but very important, and I feel so good, is not ordering out / like Uber eating. And I think I was doing this a lot. I was doing a lot of this really in January and February, like early Feb, but mainly January. Because I just wasn't motivated to cook. I was just bored of my meals. But I feel so, it's not necessarily about, I don't want to order out because I was eating so terribly. I don't think I was feeling the worst, although I'm sure I am definitely feeling better, because I'm making sure that I'm not. Obviously, making food at home is way better than ordering out. But I think also just the amount of money I was spending, that was just not needed. So I just feel physically and financially like a weight has been lifted, and I feel so clear not ordering out so much. So that is definitely out for March. Like I'm not being perfect with it, but I don't need to. I'm very much so I think with the glow up challenge has really helped me. Protein era, sorry for saying era, but protein era, cooking meals at home. I don't know. So that's definitely out. Next thing that is out is scrolling on TikTok. I honestly have not been scrolling on TikTok for a while now. And it's funny because the reason why I wrote this is because last night I went on TikTok. Like, I go on TikTok to check notifications if I ever do, but I haven't been like actually scrolling, but I went on the scrolling side of things, like following and for you. And I instantly just felt so so gross. I felt very overwhelmed. I felt anxious about things that I wasn't anxious about before I went on that app as a creator, but also just as a person who's living their lives. And I'm out with it. I'm here to create, but I'm not here to consume right now. And the last thing that is out is giving advice, and not for the podcast, but for my friendship advice right now in my life. I am very much so, you know what? They're going to learn. They're going to learn. I'm going to just sit back. I'm just going to agree. I'm going to have to agree to disagree. Okay. And I feel like I've learned this over the years to just, your friends are not always going to take your advice and run with it. I already know that. And I really have learned to only give advice if I'm being asked. But I'm very much so still in this energy of really, really pulling back the advice and really just even the opinion and just letting my friends do what they want and see how it goes. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay? So that's in, that's out. I am fighting off a cold, but it's fine because this is what usually happens when we go and enter a new season of life, at least for me. I am reading Psycho-Cybernetics and I'm just enjoying every moment of it. I am embracing the sun. This weekend is going to be like 12 degrees and sunny. I'm going to be vlogging again. I'll probably show you guys on the main channel, which is where I'm going to be vlogging, some new routines that I'm getting into. It's my spring awakening, I should say. And let me know what you guys are going to be doing for March. I can't believe, when this episode comes out, the next day is going to be March 1st, which, oh my God, I'm so here for. I'm genuinely 100% in the spring mode. You can't bring me back. Even if I don't even care if it snows again or if it gets like minus whatever, I don't care. Okay? The days are getting longer. My soul is awakening and we're feeling really good. So anyways, that'll be it for today's episode. I hope you guys have a great day, night, week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.